How can an openness to new things transform your farm life? Join Cameroonian papaya farmer Medefo Talom to find out on this week's episode of Food, Flowers, and Fun, Visits with Farm Women Around the World. We are sponsored by Penlight for Farmers, helping overworked farm women create the farm lives of greater purpose, energy, and peace that they've always wanted. If you're the woman who does it all, farm work, housework, bookwork, homework, getting up at the break of dawn, this is the podcast for you.
How do you multiply by fractions, Mom?
Get away from the cares of the day. Restock, rootstock, feedstock, seed stock. Chat with women around the world who raise food, flowers, and fun. With your host, Kay Castrataro. That's me. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Food, Flowers, and Fun. This is the podcast where we talk to women farmers and farmer support people around the world. I am your host, Kay Castrataro, and I am so excited today to introduce Medefo Talom Sandrine, who is from Cameroon. And she's just got an amazing story of how she supports farmers and her growth into this whole agricultural business, and then to talk about some of the struggles she sees in agriculture and for women in the circle. So welcome, Talom. Medefo.
Thank you so much.
You can slap me through the screen.
Thank you so much. I'm very delighted being here with you. It's a pleasure.
Well, thank you. So I'm wondering if you want to just start and tell us how you got into agriculture, because you didn't grow up in a farming family.
No. Okay, thank you again once more. Okay, let's start. So agriculture to me has always been a passion. And how did I get that all in one wrapped up? I think it came as a God-given purpose to me because I've never had a background of like family members. Nobody in my lineage is a farmer. But while cutting across high school, I just had this within me because I felt that what was a necessity, like what is really necessary in my country, Cameroon. So I saw that food is something that you can really get everybody involved because everybody eats.
Yes.
And I wanted to get
Let's
to
hope
the
so. That's the
Yeah.
goal, right? And unfortunately, in so many parts of our world, and probably in many parts of Cameroon, not everybody eats on a regular basis. And so
Exactly.
this food security
Exactly.
is really a very
Mhm.
important cause. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, so I saw myself looking around. I found no youth. So it's like the farming thing was mostly carried out by old people from 45 and above. Meanwhile, the youths, nobody wants to get involved in agriculture. Be like, "Ugh." But meanwhile, everybody eats. So it was like I asked myself, so this thing, how sustainable is it going to be if us the youths don't want to get involved in agriculture? And then I started doing research and I saw that something burst out from within. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. It was really tough from the start, but I believe that if something is not that tough, it's not meant for me. So I told myself that I'm going to.
You and I have something in similar, that there's always the easy way to do things and then the hard way to do
Exactly.
things. And do I always gravitate to the hard one?
Yeah, that's it. And then I said, okay, I started making inquiries, asking people, and they were like, why would you want to choose agriculture of all fields? I'm like, this is what I want to do. Just tell me what you think about. So I was going about to get mentors, and some people, they were wowed, they were marveled, like, oh wow, young lady like this with this kind of zeal. So that's how I went to the university, studied agriculture. I wrote the concours, and I passed it. And of course, I saw myself in school doing agriculture, and they train us how to hold places, how to farm, and all of that. It was very strenuous, but I had already decided. You see this my side, I was a little bit fatter. And when I started when I started schooling, I saw how I reduced because we started school I think 6 a.m. to about 7 p.m. I was not used to that.
No, no. And I gotta
No
tell you,
way.
like ag students, I don't think in the United States that's the way they do ag training. I don't think they necessarily do 6 to 7. They take classes, they might do some
Yes.
internship,
So
but
it was a mix. It was a two-way thing, theory and practical. And
yep.
because I had never known anything about agriculture, I saw majority of my classmates, they were way faster than me because now we are mixing the theory. After that, you have to take it to the farm. So when we go to the farm, you will see me spending a lot of time because I was trying to catch up, I was trying to read, I was trying to find out. I would just want to turn and I would see some people already right, their beds were already done, they're already planted. I'm like, God, please help me on this one. And of course, to cut the long story short, I force myself. If I have to study, I have to double it because I know okay, I don't have any clue on what I'm doing. So I had to force myself to study hard, double, in fact triple. Did research, went to the Ministry of Agriculture, had some and how God does his things. Started sending me people that gave me guidance. They really helped me, and I came out with flying colors. Grace, grace, all glory to God. And when you want to, they say practice makes perfect. I didn't just want to leave school and then I go to maybe work in offices, or I wanted to be practical about agriculture. I
You
wanted to
want to
meet the
stay with your
farmers
hands in the
themselves.
dirt. Yep.
Yes, I put my hand in the dirt and I showed them that okay, this is what we are doing, this is what we've learned, and this is what we're trying to incorporate. How can we change? How can we facilitate? How can we add your yield? Those were my problems because when I go to the farm, I see how they strain to farm. They will sit in the farm for hours, and then at the end, you want to get the benefits because the difference actually between those who go to school doing agriculture is that you have all your records, you follow it up, and okay, this is my benefit, this is what I'm having. So you have all of that. But with our parents, they don't really care about that. They just know that okay, I'm going to the farm and at the end I sell if I have 100 francs. So they don't even know if they're making profit or not.
Yep.
But I had to come in, I had to follow up and tell them that okay, this is how we have to do it. If you check and check, you see that okay, finally, are you making again or not? And I saw many changes. Even though some people were very adamic to change, were like, no, this is how we've been doing it before. So I had to live with them and all of that. So I didn't have a lot, like a very big space to start doing like large scale production. So
Yep.
that's why I had to come up with a nursery that I could be able to supply seeds and seedlings. That's how I got in contact with many farmers because everybody needs seeds.
Right.
You can
So
do
talk to me a
agriculture.
little bit. I'm gonna jump in and your passion for seeds and seedlings is something that I really enjoyed hearing about. And so
Okay.
talk to us about how you realized that was the place that you could really start to make a difference for farmers.
Okay, fine. The first thing is I discovered that the problem that every farmer has is the quality of seeds.
Mhm.
Because when your seed is being tampered, definitely your produce is tampered.
Mm.
So it starts with the seed.
Yep.
If you don't have a very good seed, high yielding seed, or resistant seed, definitely your whatever you're doing is going to go in vain, or you're going to have little or no produce.
Yep.
So that's the primary focus. You see, so I then said I have to go into the root of this. Let's go to the start of all this matter. That's why I had to now say, okay, let me get to the seeds or the seedlings. So I got farmers, different farmers and big producers of seeds. Okay, then I had to, now you asked me, why did I select papaya? Because my main
I want to
reason.
talk about your family and papaya.
Okay, the main reason is that my mom, she's of late, like now she's of, I think 5 years ago she
Mm.
passed. She's a lover of papaya. So the species that I'm doing is Kalina dwarf species. Okay, so she was a lover of papaya, and when she died, just when we buried her, and on her grave, about 3 months later, we saw a papaya germinating from her head, like the
Mhm.
side where she was laid. So I was
That's
like, oh,
amazing.
is this thing? Is it telling me something? So maybe should I? Because I wanted to start with seed, I didn't know which particular one. I was still in between. You see, so when that happened, I was like, okay, I'm going to go for this.
Yep.
So I started off, and the journey has been amazing. Even with the challenges that we have, I always had people that were always like, okay, let's try this. And I'm someone who never gives up. If there's if I know that there's always a way, even if it's not working, I just have to try and try and try. It's going to be perfect. So that's the story.
I love that attitude. First of all, like that. This whole mindset thing is something that I've really grabbed onto in the last year or so, and you really can change so much about your condition just by having a positive mindset, and
Yeah,
that belief
exactly.
that no, there is a way to do this. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to
Mhm.
find it. Like that's the mindset
Exactly.
that has changed the world
Exactly.
throughout history. That's the mindset that had the Wright brothers flying, and it has Edison inventing the light bulb and all of these kinds of things, because they said, I don't know how, but it happens. Start dealing with papaya seedlings. So where were you collecting the seed from? Were you getting it from commercial growers? Were you getting it from seed companies? How did you get started doing that?
Okay. Initially, I got it from commercial producers, and then I had I had one training. We had an empowering session one time with the Mina there. So I met some seed producers there.
Mm-hmm.
We exchanged contacts, like networking, and
Yep.
then I discovered because with what it was certified. So I really got encouraged, and then they started supplying me the seeds, and then I discovered that given the timing to plant these seeds, farmers are not very conscious with time. So that's the reason why I had to introduce the nursery. So we have to, because when you're doing a nursery, it takes about 2 months or 6 to 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time they're doing other activities in the farm, before they want to know, it's already the time to plant papaya, and they have not yet nested. By the time they want to nest, it's already about almost to the end of the planting season. So I
Okay.
had to come in to do the nursery, and then I nurse, and then I sell to them the nest seedlings.
Okay.
So the difference between the seed and the seedling, because I do the seeds, the seedlings, and the pre-germinated seeds
Okay.
based on the distances. So there are some people that are encouraged, if they are very far, I send the seeds themselves. There's a way we do all the packaging so that it gets them in the right shape,
Yep.
and then we send, and then we now give them directive on how to go about that.
Okay.
If the distance is very long, like across rivers and seas and all of that, because carrying the difficulty with the ceilings is that it's a little bit heavy, especially when you're taking like from 1,000. It's quite heavy,
Yep.
especially when I have to send it to very long distances. That's the reason why I had to initiate the idea. All of this didn't just come at once. I did it bit by bit, and when I saw the difficulty, I was like, how am I going to break through this one? And now I'm talking about this. It's not that it just came like that. So I've been doing this like for 3 years.
Okay.
I've been having difficulties, and then I'm trying to, then I will sit back to say, okay, how are we going to do this? Because now what I want to work on is the 1 second. Let me get one of the ceilings so you can see. All right.
Sure.
Okay. So there we go.
Oh,
So
look
you
at them.
see this is one of it. This is one. Can you see it
Yeah.
there? So this
Well,
is
it's
this is
got
the
it's
quality.
got leaves a lot like a maple leaf. It's only got three lobes, but it's really beautiful. I know nothing about
So
papayas.
okay, so this is the Kalina species. The dwarf Kalina is quite very short. It takes from between 7 to 9 months to bear.
Okay.
So this is what we talk about a ceiling. This is one one of these is 1,000 francs. We're going to convert that to your your dollars. So this is it. So and I also do tea. This is the mint tea. This is the mint.
Oh
So
yeah.
so you see, I also do the seedlings as well, and also stevia. Yeah. So I'm trying to introduce now teas because it's raining season. It's cold. So my difficulty right now, it's you see the bag, you see the plastic bag, right?
Yes.
Here is soil. This soil, I made the soil myself because I do organic. I mix organic soil. Like the soil, if you see, like let me show you. I'm going to do it to my hands. I'm going to
This
show
is
you
so
that.
much fun. I love this.
So you see this, it's
Oh,
really
yeah.
dark.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
really dark because it is my composition. So I as well do training on how to compost because this soil, it takes just 3 days to germinate. 3 days because it's really rich.
Really?
The mixture, yeah, it's really rich. So I also do training for farmers to get best soil compositions
Okay.
using organic means, even their waste in the kitchens, just so many things involved.
Right.
So my main difficulty right now that I'm trying to get is to reduce this soil in a way that we can send even 1,000 without having too much weight. Because just this one, it can be like about 0.25 to 0.2 or 0.3 or 4 kg, just like this.
So you're
So-
basically the cost to the farmers is coming from the weight of the soil. It's not coming from the plants themselves. So if you could
Yeah.
reduce that, you could reduce expenses all the way
Exactly.
around.
So I really want to reduce, and the weight itself, the weight. Because
Yeah.
if you see all of these, the cost, you have the soil that I've mixed here, you have these plastic bags, and you have the seed. So this
Right.
is 3-in-1 that we're giving out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And how far do you ship them?
I don't know how I'm going to measure the distance because I'm using it based in Cameroon. I'm just still doing local.
That's okay.
I'm not
That's
doing
okay. Give it to us
Okay.
in the local language. This is what we love here.
Okay.
This is why we're talking with people around the world, so we get to open our eyes and learn about other places.
Okay, so about 5,000 kilometers.
Okay.
5,000, 10,000 kilometers. Yeah, it depends on how far you are. So that's what I'm saying. That's why we are doing the seeds, the pre-germinated seeds, and the seedlings. For those around where we are, we give the seedlings.
Right.
But when you're way far off, then we give you the seeds or the pre-germinated seeds. I don't have them here because wait, one second. I have seeds, but I don't have the pre-germinated seeds.
Have fun.
So
Doing show and
this-
tell here. I love it.
So this is the seed. I don't know how we're going to see that. Let me just get one. So this is a seed.
Oh, look at it. It's so tiny.
Yeah, so tiny.
And how tall do the papaya plants get? Your dwarf plants?
It's about it's about not 2 meters, even 1 meter 1.5. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just like quite short.
And
So
are
that
they?
is-
Oh, sorry. Are they an annual plant or are they perennials? So, like, do they bear year after year, or do you
Yes,
have to replant
year after year for 4 years.
for
They
4
bear
years?
year after years for 4 years.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So it's kind of
Because
a it's like a midterm plant. So it's not
Yes,
not
yes,
an
exactly.
annual, but it's not like an apple tree that you can keep
Yeah,
for,
exactly,
20 or 30
exactly.
years. So
Just-
it's in between. All right.
Yeah, and then we have to keep that up after like 4 years because when you're doing it for commercial reasons,
Yeah.
okay, you have to carry because the production rate reduces. For the first year, you can have about 20 fruits in a tree, 20 fruits. The second year, you can have about 18. So it reduces as the years goes
Oh,
by.
all right. So it
So that's why-
reduces from the first year on. So the first year
Exactly.
is actually the highest production.
Yes.
Okay, so that takes a lot of management for
Mhm.
the farmers
A
to
lot.
make sure that they've got a good steady replacement system going on. So you
Yes.
you must be an
Just-
important person.
Of course. I think that's quite amazing. It's quite amazing. Working with farmers is really tedious because you have to explain and explain and explain again. And some will be like, no, just hold on. We're going to see how we're going to get to this particular point. But then it's working. It's actually because now I can really boast that the farmers that I work with have really seen results.
You're having great success with the farmers. Because have you been working with existing papaya farmers, or have you been convincing farmers to switch from a different crop to papaya?
Okay. That's why the entire process is a little bit difficult, because I started with convincing farmers to swap to get this spacing, and then I had to show them the advantages why we are planting this particular spacing. Okay, so now what I'm doing is that the people who got it the first year, now the other people now see the results. That's why we have more clients now. We have more farmers diving into it. But the first year wasn't really easy. Even though when I show you the fruit, it's very appetizing. I'll be like, really? Is it really? Am I really certain? I'm like, yes, because I planted one. I tried it myself before I'm bringing it to you. I don't just say something like, oh, okay, this is it in the blues. No.
So, so you've had some success with your first year farmers.
Exactly.
And tell me what that success looked like for you. Was it increased yield? Was it higher quality? Was it all of the above? What was it that they really loved about your plants?
Both. The first thing is the quality of the seeds. It was excellent because it was disease resistant. You don't have to do a lot to prevent it from pests or all of these insects. So the first thing is it was really disease resistant. Secondly, the fruits are really big, and the yield as well. Okay, so and the species that I talk about, the Kalina dwarf species, is quite short in a way that harvesting is very easy. You know, the normal papaya tree is really tall. So to harvest it, you really have to take your time, because there are also techniques in harvesting. Okay, but with this one, I don't even strain in giving lessons on how to harvest your fruit, because it's almost your height. It's almost your height. There are some that you are way taller than, so you just have to pluck it out.
So you're saying that so the plants are shorter, and they're so no ladders. You don't need to do ladders. You don't need any other equipment to be harvesting. You can just harvest right on the ground. So it is a lot like apple trees, where the standard apple trees were 20 or 30 feet tall, and you needed ladders, and it was such a pain. And now you can do the dwarfs, and you can trellis them and walk on the side, and they're all the apples are just saying, oh, pick me. So the papayas too. Now, do you have to stake the papayas? Are they do they have to be trellised, or are they strong enough to stand on their own?
They are strong enough. This one is very easy to deal with. That's why we have many people wanting it. And then I told you about what we introduced this year, because each year I'm trying to add value. Okay, what can we do? What can we add so that we can? So this year I involved everyone. So I was doing an operation, one home, one pawpaw. Because when I introduce you the pawpaw, I'll have to talk. I get a small group. I get a contact person, then I get a group of maybe house heads, then I talk about it. Everybody seem interested. Definitely, if I have 50 persons in the crowd, about 49 will want the Kalina for themselves.
Wow.
So after that, I will now, because the truth is people are scared to go into the agriculture because there's nobody to give them directive on how to do it. But I am there. You get the seedlings, the soil. I have soil prepared. If you want me to teach you how to prepare your soil, I definitely do. I do follow ups until you have your fruits in your backyard or maybe your farms.
Yep.
So that the entire idea is just amazing. That's why I was like, God, thank you for this idea.
Yeah.
Many people love eating papaya, because when I did the survey, I found out that about 89% of the population eats papaya and they love it. But now the prices have skyrocketed. It's very expensive in the markets right now. So everybody wants to plant at least 2 in their compound.
Okay. And so
So
have you
that
found that I'm sorry, I jump right in, and we
that's
do
fine.
have a lag, so I sometimes don't pause enough to let the let the sound
That's
travel
fine.
from here back to Cameroon. But I'm
Fine.
curious, have any of your backyard growers, so the people who've got one or two trees, have they decided to start selling it as well, or are they basically using it for home use right now?
I think no, nobody wants to sell. I have some people that planted it at their backyards. Then later on, since they saw that the result was good, they now want to go in to do it commercially. Like they want to get farms to
Okay.
plant.
Okay.
Because the papaya as well is very sweet and it's thick. I actually this year I had to plant some in my farm because I don't have a very big space. So the reasons why I had to do the nursery to try to economize the space and get more of the seedlings.
Right.
But because the planting distance for it is 2 meters by 2 meters, so that's a lot of space to cultivate. Yeah. So in a hectare, you have about 2,500 plants. You see, so that's a big space, and I don't have that. So I planted about 20 or 30 like that in my small farm, so that I'll be able to also show. This time around, I'm going to show. I'm not just going to talk about this and in my farm or call someone who has planted it. I'm going to say, okay, this is my farm. See it for yourself. So
Yes.
I have targets for every year. Like, okay, next year, what am I going to do? Because next year I'm going to add something. I'm just going to add and add and add. We keep going.
Well, so I'm going. This was a beautiful segue. So add and add and add. So here we have Medefo, who is just like a ball of energy and full of inspiration. And I'm wondering, what do you do to keep yourself full of that inspiration and energy? Because you just started a new business and it's only been 2 years, right?
Yes, 2
And the
years.
first year, am I right? You grew like 20,000 seedlings.
Yes,
Is that what I recall? Yes. So
yes.
I mean, that sounds like a lot for a first year. And how many people do you have working with you?
I have just 2 people working with me. And the
So it's
first
three of you. It's three of you taking
3
care
of
of.
us, but I had 2 other people like who partnered with me to do the business. So the first
Okay.
year I had some partners who we worked together. So I was doing the 2,000 because we were 3 of us.
Okay.
Even though I did all the sales, I did it, but the money, finance, and all of that, it was something joint. So
Okay.
when they traveled and had already gained ground and was known, they were like, okay, now I think it's okay. So they are fine with that. So now before we did it was like a partnering kind of thing.
Yeah.
With the finance and building up and all of that, it takes money.
Right.
And then so when I went, because after the first year I had a training to do with the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture in the South. So
Yeah.
they called me to do a training because they saw all the energy. They'd be like, a young lady, and they were like, just come for this training. So it was a little bit challenging for me because I had to stop what I was doing but it was very important because what I learned it's beyond the reach. I really got a lot from there. So that's about it.
So what are you doing? Because one of my big passions is making sure that we keep farmers sustainable for themselves. Like we talk a lot about sustainable growing practices, which you're definitely doing with your soil building and all that kind of stuff. And we talk about financial sustainability, which means like the farmers are making more money off of this papaya. So we want them to be doing that.
Yes.
And so I'm wondering what you're doing to take care of yourself so that you're staying, healthy and strong, and you're having the rest time that you need. And look at the smile. Come on, share it with me.
All right. The first thing is growing up. I discovered that it's not about money. It's about the value you place in people. That's what it makes them. Because the joy, I will tell you this, my experience, I don't speak based on books that I've read. What I say is my experience on ground in the field. I can say that even if I have just two persons who smile and say, wow, I'm very happy that you bought this idea because the money that I'm making from here is quite amazing. And if I have just one person who says that I fit organically, the joy that it gives me, I tell you, it gives me the energy. Yeah. I'm so excited when I find someone like, because not everybody wants to go organic. Okay. But when I introduce this and I tell them that it's cost effective.
Yes.
What's the issue that you want to take your money to buy things that will still have all of these? Because I have to introduce all of this to them. And then meanwhile, you have all of the, you cook, don't you? They will be like, yeah. You have biodegradable waste. So what is the problem? Just get this, and this is done. And they'll be like, ah. So when they do it and they come back to me and then they're happy and we discuss, we laugh, I just feel so overwhelmed. And it gives me that energy that, okay, I have to study more. I have to study. I know that at this level, I really still have to study because what I am seeing. I really have to study because my problem is the individual to eat healthy, organic food. That is my problem, and that is what I know that I'm going to solve. Not entirely, but I know even with the small population I'm going to get, it's going to be enough for me. So that's a lot of energy that it gives me. Yeah.
So do you sleep? Do you sleep at night?
I do. I sleep.
These things because I will tell you, I also tend to be a very a vision-driven person, and that can be a blessing and it can be a curse because our passion will take us just so far, and then our bodies, and then those bodies, they get old.
Okay.
And my body has definitely started saying, sweetheart, you mentioned the age of the farmers, like older, and you said 45, and I'm like, oh, I'm past that.
Whoa, you're past that. You're looking way younger. That's amazing.
Oh, you are so sweet. Yeah, 48.
Whoa, amazing. You look 30.
Oh, my new best friend. You are my new best friend.
Wow, amazing. I'm so proud. Wow.
Oh, thank you. But in the US, the average age of our farmers is about 58. And so what you're talking about that, the older generation being the ones who are carrying on the food production, that is true here as well. And so like my concern is that if we burn our farmers out, then, they might have a whole lot of passion when they start out. But if we work them too hard and they're not taking care of themselves, we use them up and then we throw them away. And we don't want that. Like, we want to actually make this a sustainable thing.
Amazing.
And so people like you are the same, because you are a farmer as well, in the fact that you're growing these plants, you're starting the seeds, and you are one of the beginning pieces for these commercial farmers. And so, what can we do to support you to keep you also taking care of yourself and taking breaks? And you're obviously full of energy, and I'm like, we want to keep her. We need that energy.
When you talk like that, I remember my elder brother. He would call me and like, rest. What's your problem? You have just take time and rest because you overwork yourself. I'm like, this thing. When you have this thing in your mind, it's like that's the driving force. You can't sleep. So you'll be like, hi, what am I going to do? This my sister. I just have to look for a person and cage you so you not leave. You still sit there and rest.
Okay, so I'm not the only one who's looking at you and saying, we've got to take care of her. We got.
When you spoke like that, the first person that came to my mind was him. I was like, hey, my God. Sometimes I do work out and I pass out and I have some temperatures and I know what I need. My body needs is rest. So I'll be like, because one thing I've noticed is my feeding habits. It dropped because I then lost appetite. Like right now, I definitely take a lot of fruits. and then in the morning I have to do sports because I barely eat. Sometimes it's way past my breakfast. I'm like, it's already 12. I'm not taking my breakfast. So
Ooh.
yeah. So now
Yeah,
I have
you
to.
gotta feed the machine. Feed the
Exactly.
machine.
Exactly. So what I'm doing right now is pushing myself to be. I have a timer. Once it's that time, I have to go and eat. You see,
Ah,
and I
good.
eat more of fruits and vegetable. And then for my rest, I take like 6 hours a day. So I'm working
You
on that
sleep
for now.
6 hours. Oh, sweetheart. Since the time I don't know, I can't even remember. I am a 9 hour sleeper. Like if I get 9 hours, I am a happy, happy woman. And every hour you take away from me from that, I get progressively grouchier. So by the time I get hit 6 hours, I'm like 3 hours short and I'm starting to be like, oh. But I know a lot of people, like I've got a friend who, if she gets 6 hours a night, she feels great. And she has a lot of your energy. So it could be one of those, there are
Yeah.
personalities that just have all of that energy. And I just love it. But I love that you set alarms to remind you to do self-care, because I think
Yeah.
that's a really important thing. Like when we are passionate about what we're doing, or like farmers are the same way, you have a lot of work to do. There's no doubt
Yes,
about it.
exactly.
And so if you're out there and you're committed to doing the work, my sister always quotes my grandfather, who's like, the job's not finished yet. We're not stopping until the job's done. And there's a beauty in that. Like, okay, good. You're going to keep going. And at the same time, you need to eat. You need to rest. And so setting that timer and saying, no, for this half hour, I am going to stop. I am going to eat. I am going to breathe deeply, look around at this beautiful thing that I'm doing. I'm going to maybe talk to people just about like nothing. Just sit and chat for the sake of having a fun conversation. I'm going to laugh.
Oh yeah.
Laughter, great thing for us. So, I do a lot of laughing.
I see that. That's why you're way younger, way younger.
That's what it is. See, you want to take 10 years off of your life, you laugh a lot.
Exactly. You're 20 years younger. My goodness.
I keep getting younger and younger. Yeah, this is great. I'm gonna be back in college. I love this. But I think that's so great that you're doing that. And it also sounds like you're recognizing when your body's having too much. So you said that you'll get like fever which we don't want you to be running fevers before you do that. But figuring out like those warning signs that when our body is telling us, like I always tell people, if I just want to sit down and watch like Chinese movies all the time, which is funny because I don't speak Chinese, but I kind of got suckered into these Chinese dramas and they're very silly.
Okay.
And I can like escape from my whole life. So I know that if I want to watch them all day, something's not right. Like I need to back up and I need to start to when I'm healthy, I don't want to spend all day watching TV. I want to be working. I want to be doing the job that I love. So when my system starts to say, just hang out on the couch, and I know that there's problems. So, but I use that now as a litmus test because I say, okay, so what do I need to adjust? Like, am I too busy? Do I need to do some journaling and figure out, am I holding some stress somewhere? Do I need to go for a hike with a friend? Like, what do I need to do? So what else do you do for stress relief? I'm curious. Do you have
a favorite
activity?
Singing.
Really?
Yes, and I love to cook. So I have some particular delicacy that I love cooking.
Yeah.
So if I'm not cooking, I'm listening to music. And there are sometimes that when I'm cooking, I listen to music. Or when I want to really relax, I just have my some special soft jam, very soft. Yes, I relax and it feels very good, like my entire body being energized. So if I'm not cooking, then I am listening to music or I'm singing. So those are the ways. Or
So
I can have a stroll, like I just go up towards this one nice cool environment, just checking how beautiful the nature is and all of that.
yeah. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So before I let you go, though, this has been so much fun. Thank you for joining us. Like I
Amazing. I
feel
was
like
in
this
so
has been
amazing.
a blast. And we're gonna have to. We didn't even talk about your tea. Like you mentioned the mint. You said you were growing it. So we're gonna have you come on again, and
Okay.
we're gonna have to talk
Okay.
about tea sometime. We'll give you a couple weeks, but um,
That's fine.
but I always ask people before they leave if they had one thing that they thought farmers should know, what would that be? So what would your word of wisdom for farmers be?
Okay, what I'm going to say is, I'm saying it's not something generalized to the entire farmers. I'm talking about the African farmers.
Mhm.
So what I think is that they should definitely be going for trainings. Okay,
Mm.
educational opportunities. Okay, empowering themselves because they are too Adamic. They don't want something new. They should be free, open up, and even try new things because I believe that the one that is within you shows you and gives you beautiful idea that you yourself you can be amazed. Because sometimes when I look at some produce, I'm like, how did this person come about this concept? There's someone who guided them through. Why not yourself? You can also be that person. So open up and don't be too fine-tuned that okay, this is the way, this is the pattern, it must go like this at this. No, just be open and go for trainings because when we go for trainings and workshop, you meet different people with different energies. When they bring their ideas, it breaking something in you. So I think that is just what I have to share.
Oh, I love that. And I'm going to say, I don't think that applies just to African farmers. I really don't.
Okay.
I think that concept is important for all farmers because
Oh.
I think all of us can get kind of stuck in the way it's always been done. Especially if you're a multi-generational farmer, if your parents did it and your grandparents did it and your great grandparents did it,
Exactly.
like we're beef
Exactly.
farmers. That's all we do. We do beef, or we're dairy farmers, or we're apple growers, or whatever it is, and we've always done it this way. And if you limit yourself to that, you're absolutely right. Like we lose so much opportunity that we don't even know is there. And so I really love that idea.
Amazing.
You're talking about following that spirit within inside of you, that wisdom and guidance that comes from your soul, where you're sitting there and you're listening
And
to
that is where innovation springs from. Yeah. Innovation springs from there. Exactly.
And to trust that if you have an idea and it seems like a crazy idea, it's okay. And that's probably the right thing to be doing because
thank you. Thank you.
I'll tell you, when I told people I was going to work with farmers to help support their overall well-being, everybody was like, I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. And I was like, I fought with myself for 6 months. I was like, this is not reasonable. Like farmers aren't going to want to do this. And finally, you were talking about God giving you your calling. Finally, God was like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And it's where my passion is. I'm like, I love farmers. I love fulfillment in that. And we want to do that. And we want to help support them and break through like the farming has to be this way or that way. Like break all these boundaries because there was a time where farming was something that everybody did on a subsistence level in their backyard. And nobody looked down on that as, oh, that's not real farming. Of course it was real farming. And we started out in a garden, for crying out loud. God put 2 people in a garden and said, here, be
talk
farmers.
To me about it. My goodness. Exactly.
So let's embrace that and release all this judgment that we're holding on to that is crippling us as people, as growers. Whew, I'm like so full of inspiration right now.
Yay!
So thank you for sharing that, because I really do think that that's important for all of us. I think all of us really need to embrace who it is that we were created to be, and to let that flourish, because I believe that we all have a purpose here that only we can do. And people are going to find help where they need help, but if we didn't have Medefo, all the farmers that you've worked with so far would have been lacking something very, very important.
Exactly.
And if we didn't have Kay, we'd be missing a little more laughter in the world.
That's right.
But I just want to thank you so much. It has been so much fun, and I look forward to keeping up with you, after this episode, and go forth and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Case. It was amazing. Just an amazing time. I so much enjoyed myself.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Just hearing, just seeing how someone wants to hear the story. You want to share it, and it's not something that you're faking. You're trying to share with you. I feel the energy, like relating. It's not like you're here, but I feel like I'm relating with you one-on-one. So it's just so beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Oh, thank you. Blessings to you. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
How do you multiply by fractions now?
Farmers Calling, our show is all done. Goodbye, farewell, so long, adieu. See you next week, same time, same place for food, flowers, and fun. Go in peace. Visit us at www.penlightfarmers.com.